Let's understand the January item of the month, the baby chess mimic, and rate it for different styles of play. The baby chess mimic hatches into the chess mimic, a familiar that increases both meat and item drops. This is an uncommon combination that's useful for farming. Once the chess mimic has at least 50 experience, the combat skill Lay an Egg becomes available. Choosing to lay an egg creates a mimic egg in your inventory and removes 50 experience from your familiar. The mimic eggs persist from day to day, although as quest items they will disappear when you ascend. You can lay more than one egg in a single fight if you have enough experience. Using a mimic egg lets you pick a monster to fight, one for each egg laid. The fight will consume an adventure unless it is a free fight monster like the Sausage Goblin or Witchess Knight. You can lay an egg up to 11 times per day if your familiar has enough experience. Having the chess mimic as your active familiar unlocks a new location on the right side of the tracks in Seaside Town, the Mimic DNA Bank. Inside the Mimic DNA Bank, you can choose to either donate eggs or withdraw an egg. Once 100 eggs for a specific monster have been donated, that monster becomes available to withdraw. Beyond this point, egg donations for the monster are wasted. Withdrawing an egg removes 100 experience from your familiar, so the action will only be available if your familiar has at least 100 experience. Withdrawing an egg also uses up one of your 11 eggs per day. You can withdraw an egg and then lay multiple eggs during the resulting fight to get further copies. This can be a great way to fight monsters that you otherwise could not access. Since all of the chess mimic skills require and remove experience, building up experience is necessary to get the full benefit of its copies. The best ways to build familiar experience, for any familiar, not just the chess mimic, are the level 15 and up familiar equipment from the Time Twitching Tower merch table's Wardrobe-o-matic on familiar experience days for an additional 5 experience in every fight while the item is equipped, the October 21 item of the month Vampire Vintner's familiar experience wine for a variable amount of experience per fight while the effect lasts, the roasted vegetable focaccia from the November 22 item of the month cookbook bat for an additional 10 familiar experience per fight for 50 adventures, using 5 or more pulled blue taffy for an additional 10 familiar experience per fight with DK as the buff expires, or using Ghost Dog Chow to add 20 familiar experience. The taffy and Ghost Dog Chow can be purchased from the mall, while the recipe and ingredients for the focaccia can be purchased from the mall and cooked together. It will be difficult to gain familiar experience quickly in hardcore runs without the relevant Mr. Store or merch table items. This limits the ability to lay eggs during an ascension, although it becomes much easier after defeating the naughty sorceress. So how does the baby chess mimic measure up? More items and meat are always welcome, and the ability to lay or withdraw a few eggs and run makes completing quests a little easier. After the naughty sorceress, you can lay eggs to get extra chances at a rare drop, monster manual factoids, and more. The need to accumulate and spend familiar experience makes these benefits more difficult to get, however. Overall, I rate it 3 out of 5 stars for quality of life. More monster copies are great for item and meat farmers, and the familiar increasing both item and meat drops lines up perfectly. Accumulating familiar experience is less of an impediment after the naughty sorceress or for an account with relevant Mr. Store items. I rate the baby chess mimic 4 out of 5 stars for farming. While some PvP minigames count the number of certain monsters fought, where copies count, the chess mimic doesn't affect PvP otherwise. I rate it 2 out of 5 stars for PvP. The ability to make multiple copies in a single fight with an experienced chess mimic means that the first encounter for a quest-relevant monster lets you get enough copies to complete certain quests, such as a Dairy Goat for the Mount McLargehuge quest. Withdrawing monsters from the DNA bank can also shortcut certain quests, such as Undefiling the Kurt. I rate the baby chess mimic 4 out of 5 stars for speedruns. I hope this helps you decide if you should pick one up.